everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Shelly's Millions. I haven't abandoned you guys. I'm aware of all the updates with the stimulus, and I'm going to share those with you today. I just wanted to get an opportunity to read the bill myself instead of just relying on the words of somebody else. And what I did to look through that, obviously you guys have heard by now, this thing is almost 6,000 pages long. So clearly I haven't read the entire bill yet. So what I did is I opened up the bill, and I will link that in the description down below. And then I typed in keywords that I wanted to find. So far I've researched unemployment, overpayment, and taxes. And it'll just give you the next instance of those so that you can kind of find the information that you're looking for in the bill. Now, of course, this at the time of recording hasn't been voted on, passed, and signed into law, but all signs are reporting that that is going to happen. So I'm pretty confident in reporting that this will be the final way that the bill makes it through. And most of what I have to report is good news. As you guys know, I largely started this channel to get information to my staff that I used to work with in an unofficial manner. And my staff aren't business owners. They don't need information on the PPP and elements like that that are in this new stimulus bill. But if that's something that you'd like to hear me talk about, that you want information from me on, leave me a comment down below. Say, Shelly, I'd really like to hear you cover this, and I'm happy to go ahead and do that. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the unemployment, the stimulus checks, and the eviction ban and rental relief elements of this bill. And if you guys want me to, I can get into the rest of it in a dedicated video. So let me know in the comments down below, and like, comment, subscribe, share the video, you know the drill. So the first thing, and this is really the only piece of really bad news in this bill, is that the $300 boost will not be retroactive. So that's gone. This whole program starts December 27th and runs for 11 weeks through March 14th. So we're going to get 11 weeks with a boost, and there's not a weekly benefit amount requirement like there was with the LWA $300 payments. So as long as you're on one of the unemployment programs, be it regular unemployment, PUA unemployment, the PEUC extension, FedEd extension, or EB extension, as long as you are getting benefits from your local unemployment office from December 27th through March 14th, you'll get the $300 weekly unemployment boost. I just want to put out a word of caution to everybody that just because the program starts December 27th, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's when we'll actually start to get our money, because they do still need to update their computer systems, and they're going to need to readjust everyone's claim balance. And my claim balance is most likely different from your claim balance. So there's all different amounts, and they're going to have to adjust that for each individual to give us all 11 more weeks on our claim balance. And yes, the PUA program has also been extended by 11 weeks and also is set to expire now on March 14th. The same with the PEUC extension. That is also now set to expire March 14th. Now, there is some verbiage in there about phasing it out through April 5th. So now how it's worded is they're changing 39 weeks of available PUA benefits to 50 weeks of PUA benefits. So if you already have an open PUA claim and you haven't used all 50 weeks of PUA benefits at that March 14th date, then you could potentially draw down your claim balance through April 5th. But after April 5th, you will not have access to anything left in your claim balance. And for PEUC, it's the same. It phases out through April 5th. So what that means is after March 14th, if you still have a balance and you have not used all 24 weeks of PEUC, because first it was 13 weeks and now they're adding 11. So if you have not used all 24 weeks of your PEUC benefits by March 14th, they would allow you to draw down your claim balance through April 5th. Now's probably a good time to mention that I don't work for the EDD. I'm not a tax professional. This is really my first time reading a bill in detail, and so I unfortunately am capable of making errors. These are my interpretations of how the bill will work. So definitely follow up and do your own research on this. And if I do make an error, I will own up to it and let you guys know as soon as possible. On to that $600 stimulus check. It is not taxable, so that's great. The stimulus checks are not taxable. That $1,200 one isn't taxable that we got earlier in the year. This $600 one isn't going to be taxable either. The other good thing about this is that they are not going to call it double dipping. People on unemployment will be eligible to get that $600 stimulus check. So I'm really happy about that. I hope you guys are too. I will be setting money aside though for the $300 boost, 11 weeks. That would be $3,300 we're gonna get. I am gonna set 10% aside for my 2020 taxes on that boost. I'm gonna do that in Yada Bank, and that link's down below because they have the highest interest rate right now. So if I have to save it, might as well get good interest off it. But the EDD here in California has not been able to tax the boost so far. And we don't owe state taxes on these boosts, but we do owe federal tax on the boost. So you might need to save some money aside for that. Of course, we don't pay 2020 taxes until 2021. So we have a long way off before that happens, but I just want everybody to start thinking about that now. And if you live in a state where they have been able to tax those boosts, that is great. But California, even when you check the box asking them to withhold taxes, they're just doing that from the weekly benefit amount and not the boost. So if you're in California or another state that doesn't have it together enough to withhold taxes from the boost, set some money aside for that. That's my recommendation. Here's more good news on that stimulus check. They're saying that if they have your current direct deposit information on file, that you could actually potentially get that check by December 31st. That seems a little unlikely to me, but I've heard that today's supposed to be a great day for like rebalancing energy and stuff, and you're supposed to put positive vibes out there. So if they can do that, that would certainly be great. I have seen other articles that say it's going to take about 2 weeks, and keep in mind, everything's kind of shutting down Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So I'm not sure that I believe that, but I think it's good that they're going to try and get them to us by 12/31. And the goal is to get the money in everyone's hand, regardless of direct deposit or direct check. They are aiming to get that $600 stimulus check to everyone by no later than January 15th. To me, one of the best pieces of information that has come out of this entire bill is that states are going to have the ability to waive overpayments. So if you are somebody and through no fault of your own, your PUA weekly benefit amount was higher than it should have been, they have the ability to waive those overpayments. And I'm paraphrasing here, but it needs to be no fault of your own and provide like a financial hardship in order for them to waive it. And I do kind of expect that if you get an overpayment notice, that you may need to appeal to the EDD in order to have them waive it, to prove that it was no fault of your own, and to prove that it would create financial hardship for you to repay it. So that's what I'm expecting. I don't know that for sure. I want to be upfront about that. Maybe there's going to be so many overpayments that our unemployment offices will just say, I'm washing my hands of this. We're forgiving all the overpayments. We don't want to deal with trying to collect it. It's not right. It's going to stress people out too much. They could do that, but I'm more expecting that you might get an overpayment notice. But if you do, now you can appeal it, and they definitely have the ability to waive that. So that is really good news. I know a lot of people are like, this $600 stimulus check is a drop in the bucket. It doesn't even cover rent, especially in a state like California. The $300 isn't enough. We're not caught up on our bills and things like that. And while I agree with that, I'm hoping that the rental assistance that is provided in this new stimulus bill will alleviate some of that. So there is going to be funding set aside for rental assistance, and the federal government is going to leave it up to the state government on how to access the rental assistance. So I don't have a lot of details about that yet because probably the states haven't figured out how they're going to do it yet. But it will be up to the states, and there will be some funding available for rental assistance, which will hopefully help you out if you guys are really far behind on your bills and your rent and things like that. And they are extending the eviction ban, but only till January 30th. And the thought process there, as I understand it, is that they acknowledge that they're not going to be able to get you rental assistance right away. That may take some time, but by January 30th, hopefully you'll have applied and received the funds for rental assistance, or your landlord receives the funds for rental assistance, and that you'll be caught up again, I think is their plan. So that only goes through January 30th, but again, there's money for rental assistance, which will hopefully get you guys caught up. And as I learn more about how to apply for that and how that's going to work, I'll certainly get the information to you. I know a lot of you have been wondering how this will affect you if your benefit year ends while you're in the middle of one of these extensions or in between this getting implemented. And my understanding, based on what I read, is it will be up to the state to decide. Do they want you to open a new claim, or do they just want to kind of extend the expiration date of your claim? It'll be up to them to decide how they want to do that. All right, everyone. So that's everything that I know about this new stimulus bill. I think that I've touched on all the elements that my employees will really be wondering about. Let me know in the comments down below what questions you still have. If you want me to talk about PPP, what other elements you want me to talk about in regards to this new stimulus bill. Of course, we'll go live on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk about all of this. Have a great and safe holiday, everyone. Weeble's still giving out 4 free stocks, and my link is in the description down below. If you use my link, let me know which 4 free stocks you got. That's after you make an initial deposit of $100 or more on the platform. To me, it's a really good deal. I love getting free stuff. You can put your $100 deposit in and then transfer it right back to your bank account. Nothing prevents you from doing that. That is actually what I did. And I am saving my money for taxes in Yada Bank. They are relatively new, but they are FDIC insured. And Graham Stephan's an angel investor, and I trust his recommendations. And they have the highest interest rate of any bank around right now. And I will leave the link down to them in the description down below as well. They also, it's kind of like a lottery, and you get raffle tickets, and it gives like a fun social element to saving money. So it makes saving money as fun as it possibly can be while you're also getting a high interest rate. Thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.